Shalom. First and foremost, all praises going to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Raha Akadash. Double honors go unto the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the sincere Akim and Akwat out there, diligently laboring in this truth in all diligence and sincerity. And as you can see, the title of the video, The Tensions of War. And if you've been paying attention to the news, the heightened geopolitical tensions between these nations, mainly between the East and the West, Russia and America, NATO and the EU. You know that we're in a very unprecedented time for war to pop off within the planet Earth. Okay? And this is all being set up by the Most High. You see, the Most High is moving the chess pieces on the board wherever he wants to. You see? Now we know that the inevitable to come is the third woe, which is World War III. So what you're seeing now is World War III being set up. All right, you have America antagonizing Russia and Russia's allies. Okay, you have Russia. Actually, really, Russia is at war with America right now, but it's not a direct full-on war. It's called something called a proxy war, in which two powers will fight each other through another nation, right? And that's what you have going on right now in Ukraine. Why you think America keeps sending billions of dollars over there to Ukraine to help them fight that war? Because really, this is America's war. You see, Russia invaded Ukraine because of the pressure that America was trying to put on Ukraine to basically be a buffer state, to be an ally against Russia. America was trying to set up a nuclear base within Ukraine because Ukraine is right there next to Russia. So if America was able to come in and set up military bases and set up nuclear bases from which they could strike Russia, then that would be a problem. You see, so that's why Russia had to go in and invade Ukraine, because Russia not about to have America sitting up in his backyard talking shit, man. Like, Russia had to go in there and put that down. You see, so this is why you have this whole Russia-Ukraine, which is really Russia and America conflict popping off right now, man. All right, and you also have the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines that run into Europe, that supply Europe with oil and natural gas. Those have been blown up all of a sudden, mysteriously, right? Now, there's a lot of speculation going on about how this happened, why this happened, but we all know the real answer. You know what I'm saying? We all know what's really going on. Given that the tensions are so high between Russia and America, I mean, Biden told you, and we're going to get the clip, but Biden told you about 7, 8 months ago that if Russia invades Ukraine, right? If Russia invades Ukraine, then that Nord Stream pipeline, we're going to do away with that. You see, so 7 months later, I'll just say this: that clip has aged very well. You see, but I want to start off here in the book of Daniel 4 and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. All right, so right now the Most High has the basis of men, which is Esau Edom, set up in rulership over the planet Earth. All right, but what you're seeing right now is the Most High bringing that rulership down, okay, humbling the pride of Esau Edom. And he's doing it by way of raising up even other Edomites against himself, okay. The scriptures speak of Egyptian against Egyptian. Okay, basically that your own people are going to rise up against you. All right, and you have that happening in numerous forms, man. All right, you got the average citizen that's unhappy with the way that the government is running things. You know what I'm saying? They trying to bring about this NWO, this new beast system. You know what I'm saying? And people is not with it, so they having problems with their government leadership. Um, Government officials' heads are being cut off. You know what I'm saying? Protests are going on in these certain countries uh, in mass, and you're gonna see a lot more of that come this winter, especially over there in Europe, because now that the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 have been cut off, that's not coming back no time soon. So even if, let's just say that tensions died down and the EU wanted to resume business with Russia with the oil and the gas. Let's just say that tensions died down, and Germany and France and England, they wanted to once again do a deal with Russia to get their oil and gas. Well, that's not on the table no more. That's not an option, because now that pipeline has been sabotaged. So in the foreseeable future, Russian oil and gas will not be available to the European nations through that Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2. So what you're going to see happen is these European nations, they're going to take a hit, and pursuing the prophecy that the beast shall hate the whore. Okay, that the beast shall hate the whore, man. So America, which is the whore, is just giving the beast, which is NATO and the EU, more of a reason to come against her, man. All right, and we gonna get that. Matter of fact, let's just get it right now. Since I brought it up, right? What is that? Yeah, Revelation 17. Go to Revelation 17. Let's jump down here. Yeah, matter of fact, let's start at 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest were the whore, where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. All right, and we know that the whore refers to America, which is known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures. And what is another name for America? The great melting pot, in which what? Peoples, multitudes, and nations and tongues. Okay, all these things are found in America, man, which is known as the great melting pot. You can find every nation of people from whatever country that live here in America. All right, you don't find that nowhere else within the earth, man, but America is the place. Okay, verse 16, and the 10 horns, which refers to NATO and the EU, which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Now, why is the beast going to hate the whore? The beast is going to hate the whore because basically they're going to realize that, yo, the beast, the whore, is effing us over. You know what I'm saying? They not keeping up their end of the bargain. We supposed to be in opposition against Russia together. But they're going to realize, hey, wait a minute. America really is unfazed by this. We are the ones that's taking all of this damage. You know what I'm saying? We are the ones that's really suffering over here. You know, our people don't have gas. They don't have oil. Energy costs are through the roof. Inflation is literally killing people. We can't have a standing military against Russia, even if they was to attack, because now we don't have enough raw supplies to stock our military with. So it's gonna come to a point, man, where it's gonna be like, yo, what is the real benefit of being allied with America when whenever we need America, America is never really there to give us a helping hand. You see, and they gonna remember. You know what I'm saying? Because Europe has pretty much been destroyed by all these world wars, man. Really, all of the world wars went on within Europe, and uh the beast, they gonna remember that, man. They gonna remember shit. World War One, all of the fighting was pretty much done in Europe. No battle, not one single battle took place on American soil during World War One. World War Two, the same scenario. So you think that these European nations come in World War III? Do you really believe that they're going to ally themselves with America when America was never there to fight for them during any other world war? Come on, man. That's why it says the beast shall hate the whore. And really, the sabotage of this whole Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipeline, that's even more of a reason for the beast to hate the whore. All right. So now we're gonna jump into this real quick. Let's get this article. It says NATO believes Nord Stream gas leak in Baltic Sea gas is a result of sabotage. Okay, and like I said, with all the tensions going on, it don't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. All right. So getting into it, it says NATO said Thursday it would retaliate for any attacks on the critical infrastructure of its 30-member countries, as it suggested that damage to two gas pipelines off Denmark and would-be member Sweden in international waters in the Baltic Sea is the result of sabotage. Okay, so this is really the spirit of the Most High working upon these leaders, man, because they know that something is off. They're like, hold on, wait a minute. All this time that we've been getting oil and gas from Russia, but now all of a sudden the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 just all of a sudden blows up. So, something ain't right. Any deliberate attack against allies' critical infrastructure will be met with a united and determined response. And really, that's really a declaration of war right there. Okay, because you attacking another nation's infrastructure. So that's really right there a declaration of war, but it's a covert declaration of war because you're not just coming out in the open and saying, yo, we did it. We going to war against Russia. They trying to figure out what's really going on. They trying to figure out who's responsible for this, for the sabotage of this pipeline. But we all know who it is. We all know who's responsible for the sabotage of this pipeline. And we're gonna get that. All right. It says NATO ambassador said in a statement, they say that the damage to the pipeline between Russia and Germany is of deep concern. The alliance also said that all currently available information indicates that this is the result of deliberate, reckless, and irresponsible acts of sabotage. These leaks are causing risk to shipping and substantial environmental damage. You see that? So that's the gas bubbles right there from the gas, the pressure from the gas being released into the ocean. All right, it says Danish Defense Minister Morten Bødskov on Twitter called it a joint condemnation and very strong signal from the alliance. All right, so basically Europe is very suspicious of who, which I think they already have an idea of who's doing it. Okay, and then we're gonna play this clip. But they gonna remember that. Wait a minute, didn't Biden say months ago that he was gonna do what he was gonna do? And like I said, that clip has aged very, very well. All right, and we're gonna get it right now, okay? Because it only makes sense that there's really only one key suspect in this sabotage, man. You see, we know that the EU is not going to sabotage the pipeline because they need the gas. They need the oil from Russia. So what the hell would that benefit them to go in there and sabotage the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2? They actually benefit from that. Because before this whole Russia-Ukraine war popped off, Europe and the EU, they wasn't having no problems with Russia. They was getting their oil, they was getting their gas, everything was smooth. But now because of America, and this once again this goes into the beast hating the whore. Because of America, because America kept on poking the bear, America kept aggravating and trying to test Russia's gangster. Now all this has popped off, and now Europe has to suffer. You see, and Russia is winning the energy war against Europe right now, man. And with both of these, pipelines out of the equation now, it's about to get even worse than it is right now over there in Europe, the EU. See, but let's get your man JB Joe Biden real quick and see what he said months ago. All right, because like I said, this
Well,
this 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 clip here has aged very well. See, so let's get it.
take a couple questions each. Reuters, Andrea, you got the first question.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Chancellor Scholz. Mr. President, I have wanted to ask you about this Nord Stream project that you've long opposed. You didn't mention it just now by name, nor did Chancellor Scholz. Did you receive assurances from Chancellor Scholz today that Germany will, in fact, pull the plug on this project if Russia invades Ukraine? And did you discuss what the definition of invasion could be? And then Chancellor Scholz, wenn ich Sie fragen darf,
If I may
Sie
ask you, Chancellor
haben
Scholz,
darüber gesprochen, dass es eine
you
strategische
said there was
Ambiguität
some
geben soll,
strategic
wegen
ambiguity
den
that was
Sanktionen.
needed in
Und,
terms of sanctions.
wollte wissen, ob
I
die
just wanted to know
Sanktionen, die
whether
Sie
the
vorhaben
sanctions
und
you
die
are
EU
envisaging
vorhaben
and
und
the
die
EU
US
is working on and the
nun
US as
schon
well
fertig geschnürt sind
are
oder ob das noch
already
ausgearbeitet
finished,
wird?
finalized,
Und
or is
ist
there
denn
still
in der
work
Tat,
ongoing?
Ihre,
And
also, dass Sie das nicht sagen wollen, was genau da drin ist. Ist
you're
das
not
eine
really saying what the details
Ausrede,
are.
dass
Is that
Deutschland
just an
vielleicht zum Beispiel die
excuse for Germany
SWIFT-Maßnahmen
maybe
nicht
to
mittragen
not
würde?
support the SWIFT measures?
And they not saying what the details are of what they're gonna do because they don't want you to know what the details are. They not about to come out and tell you like, yeah, well, we're gonna bring an end to it, but we're gonna do it this way because once it does happen, everyone's gonna know that it's them. You see, but you got to remember that this devil works with subtlety. Okay, so he likes to work under deception, man. All right, he just likes to work in deceit, and that's what this devil do. You see, so he might have a plan. He might tell you one thing, but in his heart, it's war. You see, he may humble himself. He may, he may come to you crouching. He may say, "Oh, we don't want war. We don't. War is the last option." But really, whole time he's telling you this. War is in his heart, man. So you see, saying so he's looking for trouble. He's looking for a conflict. You see. So that's why he ain't really trying to say too much about how they would do it. But months later, we see how he did it. You see what I'm saying? So let's continue.
Let me answer the first question first. If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
So you see, he said if Russia crosses the Ukraine border and goes to war with Ukraine, he said what? There will no longer be a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it. This is quote Joe Biden. This came out of the devil's mouth, man. You see? He said it, and then this was months ago. This is from what? February 7th, 2022. So this was 7 months ago. So he told you then. Now, did it happen right away? No, it didn't happen right away. But they wait for the right time. They wait for the right opportunity. You see? And they went ahead and they carried out the plan. Now, this video may be taken down. They may take this video down because obviously they don't want this information to get out there. Even the video I'm doing might be taken down at some point. Who knows? But we know that these devils are being exposed on every level, man. And really, they're not ashamed no more to just come out and say what it is. You know what I'm saying? They're not ashamed to come out no more and just say that, yo, this is what we about to do. This is how we about to break it down. You know what I'm saying? Because they become so proud, they become so confident that they have full control. That now it's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do it, but what are you gonna do about it? So this is the attitude of these devils, man. You see, but he literally just told you, if Russia invades Ukraine, there will no longer be a Nord Stream 2 or Nord Stream 1. We gonna bring an end to it. America said this. Joe Biden said this, man. So if you're doing an investigation, right, you need a confession. or you need a testimony from a witness. Well, this here is a witness against Joe Biden, and he himself confessed. He himself confessed, literally just confessed to the crime. You see?
But how will you do that exactly? Since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control.
We will, I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
Yo, the pride of this devil, man. She asked him, well, how are you going to be able to do it? How are you going to be able to take down the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, Mr. Biden? Don't worry about that. I promise you. I promise you that we'll do it. This devil, man. See that? So, hey, he said that don't worry about it. We gonna do what we gonna do, and you just worry about what you gonna worry about. But I promise you, that if Russia step foot over that Ukrainian border, we gonna cut that pipeline, man. You see? That's what type of time that this devil was on. And now the whole world sees it. Now Europe, because Europe might speculate that it's Russia that did the pipeline like that, but that don't even make sense. Because why the hell would they cut their own pipeline? See? But yeah, this is a confession from Joe Biden himself. This is a confession from Babylon, from the king of Babylon the Great. Now he didn't expound upon how he was going to do it, but he just said that we will do it. You see, which you know what I'm saying, this is what they've wanted all along. All right, because right now Biden is he's not in charge. He's doing the bidding of his world elite handlers. You see, the world elite bankers, man. He's doing their bidding. Okay, so whatever they tell him to do, he has to fall through on it, man. And because Russia is not with the beast, they're not with the NWO. You see, they're not with this global beast system that they're trying to put in place. So right now, what America is trying to do is they're trying to take out any opposition that's against their NWO. And Russia, China, North Korea, the BRICS nations, they're all a part of that. So they have to find a way to sabotage these certain nations so it can be easier for them to move their troops in and do what they got to do. You see? So this is all the plan. Okay, this is all Yahweh Bashim Yahushai mustering the hosts of the battle, because all of this tension is going to lead up eventually to World War. That third war which the Bible speaks of. Now we're going to get the book of Proverbs 21. It's the Proverbs 21:1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whichsoever he will. You see, so the Lord is in control, man. Okay? The Lord told Joe Biden, put it on Joe Biden's spirit to say what he said. You see? Because ultimately, for what? To fulfill prophecy. Okay? To bring about that third woe. Okay, so really, these world leaders, they believe that they're the ones that's in control. They believe they're the one calling the shots, but they don't know that the Most High got their ass inside a trick bag, man. Okay, the Most High is the one calling the shots. The Most High is the one moving the chess pieces on the board. You see? It says the Lord turneth the heart of these kings whithersoever he will. You see, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. You see? So the Most High got the power. Okay, not Joe Biden, not Vladimir Putin, not King Charles of England, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is in control. All right.
Thank you very much for your question. I want to be absolutely clear. We have intensively prepared everything to be ready with the necessary sanctions if there is a military aggression against Ukraine. And this is necessary. It is necessary that we do this in advance so that Russia can clearly understand that these are far-reaching, severe measures. It is part of the...
And this is 7 months ago. So you see how prophecy escalates? This was 7 months ago. But look at where we at now. Look at where we at now. Russia is threatening to use nuclear weapons. You see? So this is likened unto birth pains, okay, in which when a woman is in labor with a child and she's ready to bring the child forth, and she start having them contractions, those contractions get worse and worse and worse until the baby is finally delivered. So right now we're seeing the tensions between these nations in the geopolitical sphere, right? These world nation economies, these natural disasters, judgment of the Most High. We are seeing these things get worse and worse and worse until eventually what? The third world pops off, until the MOTB is mandated, and eventually the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai in the midst of World War III to take down all these nations. You see, this is eventually what it's leading up to, man. This is for the purpose to fulfill prophecy. See? Now, let's watch a little bit of this guy, because basically what he goes into, because Europe is talking about well, we suspect Russia, or we suspect one of Russia's allies did this, or India. Listen, man, Russia has no interest in destroying their own pipeline. For what? They're in control of it. So what would they have to blow up? That's like if you got a car, right? And let's say that your wife want to drive the car, but she got a history of being in an accident. So you tell your wife that she can't drive the car, right? That's like you going outside and putting TNT dynamite under your car and then blowing up your own vehicle just because you don't want your wife to drive the car. You don't have to do all that. For what? If you don't want her to drive the car, all you got to do is say no. And if it's that serious, man, just hide the key so she can't get it. You have control over the car. You see, she can't do nothing without the keys. So it would be completely irrelevant and unnecessary to destroy your own vehicle for the sake of somebody else not being able to use it. It doesn't make sense. So we already know that Russia is out of the equation. Okay, Russia did not destroy its own pipeline, man. It ain't North Korea, it ain't China, it ain't India, none of the BRICS nations. It damn sure not none of the EU nations, because like I said, they rely on that Russian natural gas and oil. They actually rely on that. So what would it benefit them to sabotage the pipeline? So logically, it's only one logical suspect left, and that's America. Okay? And Biden just told you in that video that he did 7 months ago that they was going to do it. See? Let's get this.
Good morning. How's Europe doing? Not so well today, I see. I woke up this morning to hear about how Nord Stream 2, the pipeline that goes from Russia to Germany through the Baltic, well, I heard that Nord Stream 2, the gas flow, or the flow, because there is no gas going through it, but the pressure thing, well, basically, somebody sabotaged it. Yeah, and then within just a few hours after that, Nord Stream 1 also got sabotaged. So this means that because of the sabotage, even if all of a sudden magically the Germans and the Russians got to be buddy-buddies, there is no way for Russia to send gas to Germany anymore. And that's off the table forever.
Exactly, and that's just like I said. Even if at some point the tensions die down, and in Germany and the rest of the EU nations, they say, you know what, we need to do business with Russia to keep our societies running. We can't. Uh, this Russia-Ukraine conflict is hurting us more than it's helping us. So let's come together, move away from America and come back to doing business with Russia. Even if at some point they wanted to do that, uh, there's no way now that they can make that happen. You see, and really this is a strategic war move from America, because they know that really the only thing that connects Russia and the EU nations is that pipeline, because they're so dependent on it. Now, Slovakia, now America's logic of thinking is that, yo, if we come in and we destroy this Nord Stream pipeline, then there's no more connection between the EU and Russia. You see, because the EU might not want to go too hard against Russia, because they have something that you want, so you kind of want to still be in a good standing with them to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? So with certain lines that you're not going to step over, there's certain things that you're not going to transgress, because you still depend on this entity to feed you, basically, right? But now that that's been cut out of the equation, now it's like America's logic is there's no turning back for Europe. It's either you with me or you against me. You see, because now you don't have any connection. Like, you don't have a reason to ally yourself with Russia. But really, America effed up, man. You know what I'm saying? America really played itself, because now all what you did, and you've made it obvious. Now all what you've did is you've made the EU hate you even more, because now you're killing their stability. Now you're killing their way of life. You're crumbling their economies at the expense of what? Because you want to set up a military base inside of Ukraine. You want to bring nuclear weapons into Ukraine and mobilize the Ukraine army against Russia, so that America can be the dominant world superpower. For what? See? So eventually, it's going to be found out that America is behind the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 sabotage, man. And when that happens, you're going to see these European nations start to move away from being cool with America. You know what I'm saying? And let's get that. Let's get that in. Matter of fact, yeah. Let's go back. Let's go back to Rev 17. And the 10 horns, okay, the NATO and the EU. These shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn it with fire. Now, how is that going to happen? Nuclear warfare. Okay, missiles being shot off. See, that's how it's going to happen. Because the beast, the 10 horns, they're going to realize, well, wait a minute, America is not really our ally. America is not really our friend, because they really coming against us. They done cut off our natural oil and gas. You know what I'm saying? Now we can't have an efficient military. You see, so America is really screwing their own allies, man, and that's why eventually their allies are going to move away from them and actually ally themselves with Russia. Because you got to understand how important this oil and natural gas is to a society, especially one like Germany, which is a highly industrial society. They need that. It's not like they can find another way. No, they need that. Okay, and Germany probably going to be the first ones to break off from the EU. because going back to World War I and World War II, Germany was against the European Union anyway. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It was pretty much everybody against Germany in World War I and World War II. So what is it for Germany to be allied with Russia? You see? But that's just the history of it, man. But hey, listen, uh, Revelation 17:17, for Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is the great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth, which is Babylon the Great. Okay, but this is all for the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah to be fulfilled, man. Okay, to bring about that third woe, that final destruction, before the kingdom of heaven, before the kingdom of Israel is set up upon the planet Earth. All right.
Because the sabotage, as I understand it, and it was indisputably sabotage, and I'll get to that in just a moment. Well, the sabotage, the damage apparently is such that it's not going to be like a weekend job that they can fix it. Oh, no. Apparently it's going to be at least months, possibly years, before this can get fixed. Because seawater entered the system. I mean, it caused a whole mess. And it wasn't the little fishies that nibbled through the pipeline and made a hole in them. No. It was sabotage. Okay? There's never been something like this happen before in these pipelines, in any of these gas pipelines that are underwater. The only way to do this is to have an explosion underwater that punches a big old hole and wrecks the pipeline. And that's basically what appears to have happened in both of the pipelines within a 12 or 24 hour period. So, we have a murder mystery. Somebody killed the gas pipelines, and we have a room full of suspects. And who are the suspects? Who are the players? Well, the players you got here, you got the Russians. Of course, they're evil Russians. You've got the Germans, the victims, but maybe they did it, maybe murder of Roger Ackroyd, something like that kind of thing, right? You've got the Ukrainians and you've got the Americans. Now, the Russians, would they blow up the pipeline? Why would they? They don't need to. Because, as I understand it, these pipelines are so deep that you need submarines to actually be able to do this job of sabotage. You can't do it with divers. It's too deep, as I understand it. I could be wrong, but let's assume that that's the case, okay? So you need a submarine to be able to do this damage, so why would the Russians do it? Because, the Russians, they're the ones supplying the gas. And back in Russia, they've got this tap, it's a little thing. I've seen pictures. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And all they have to do is, righty-tighty, no more gas. They don't need to blow up anything. I mean, they certainly have the submarines to do it. They have the means to do it, but they don't have the motivation to do it. Now, would the Ukrainians do it? No, most definitely. They, in fact, are the ones who cut the flow of gas to Europe from Russia. Because, remember, and don't let anybody fool you, when the special military operation started back in February, and all throughout the conflict, the Russians, Gazprom, kept on sending gas, dispatching gas through the pipelines that went through Ukraine for Gazprom's customers in Poland and Germany and further afield in Europe. They were doing that. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. They were. And it was the Ukrainians who unilaterally shut down those pipelines for reasons, to stick it to Putin or something like that. Now, would the Germans do it? Well, no, because the political leadership in Germany, they're all on board of not wanting Russian gas because stick it to Putler, So the Germans wouldn't do this sabotage. I don't even know if they have the submarines to do it. Assume that they do. I have no idea if they have submarines or not, and let alone submarines that could do such a thing. But let's assume that they did. Why would they? Their political leadership is all in favor of cutting Russian natural gas. And so that leaves the Americans. The Americans, unlike the Ukrainians, for instance, The Americans have submarines that could do such a thing. Ukraine doesn't. So they couldn't be the ones who did it. The Americans sabotaged this pipeline. I mean, we're all adults, okay? Who is it going to be? France, the UK, India. India is going to send one of its submarines all the way from India, all the way to the Baltic Sea to sabotage this. Come on.
And exactly. You see, just looking at this whole situation logically, it's only one suspect that you can point out and say, you did it. You're guilty. See, it's only one suspect that you can do that with, man. And that's America, Babylon the Great. They have all the motive, they have all the reason, and they have all the means in the world to cut those pipelines off, man. You see? And like I said, when these European nations, which they probably by now already realize what's going on. See, because logically thinking, when you like Gonzalo Lira said, man, like when you put all the players on the table and you're looking at motivation and the means to do such a thing, America is really the only nation that has the motivation and the burning desire to sabotage in such a way. You see? To everybody else that you would suspect or involve, it wouldn't make sense for them to do it. It just doesn't make sense. You see, so once Europe fully comes to grips that they've basically been betrayed by America, you're gonna see these nations turn up, man. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see the attitude, the respect, the camaraderie between the beast, the 10 horns, and the whore change very drastically. Okay, and you're gonna see that happen very, very soon. Let's watch a little bit more. We're gonna grab this last article, a few more presets, and we're gonna close out.
It was the Americans who did it. They have the means and they have the motivation. And what would be the motivation? Well, if there's no Nord Stream 1 or 2, there is simply no way for gas, Russian gas, to flow to Europe for the foreseeable future. And that, of course, means that there is no way for Germany and Europe to make an agreement with Russia. Now, of course, this is incredibly stupid. Because, the Europeans, they're not fools, or they're not total fools at least. They're going to realize that the Americans did it. Everybody's going to realize this. It's obvious. And so, what you have is that the Americans, in order, in some misguided way, to disincentivize the Europeans from ever negotiating a ceasefire with the Russians, they blew up this lifeline to Europe. They blew up the possibility of any gas.
And that's what I mentioned earlier in the video. Okay, that America's logic was to go in there and basically eliminate any possibility of any kind of secession from this war with Europe. So to cut off any kind of common interest with Russia, they have to destroy that pipeline, because that's really what it was. If Europe didn't want to be involved in that war anymore, and they said, you know what, we want peace. We need your oil. We need your gas. Let's resume this Gazprom. Let's resume the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2. Now there's none of that. You see, there's none of that anymore, and it won't ever be again. So now, like I said, it's either for the European nations, it's either you with America or you're gonna be against them. It's really either or. And these European nations are gonna be against America, because like you just said, man, they're gonna figure out, which if they haven't already, they're gonna figure out that America is screwing us, is screwing us, man. So they're gonna side with Russia. See, so America made a very stupid move. All right, but hey, this is all to bring forth prophecy, okay, of the beast hating the whore, okay, of America's allies turning on her. It's all to bring forth prophecy, man. You've seen it happen in real time.
That's flowing from Russia to Europe. You know, there's a famous story that Cortez, when he arrived in the New World, he burned his ships to motivate his men. And you think that that's crazy, but, you know, desperation is a powerful motivator. And that's why Cortez did it. I think that the Americans, in some idiotic and misguided sense, thought to themselves that if they blew up the pipeline, there would be no way for negotiations to happen between Europe and Russia. And they're going to use all of their social media allies and minions and whatnot to convince the world that the Russians did it. The Russians have no motivation to do this. None whatsoever. They have no need. Because, like I said, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. The Americans did it, and by doing
So yeah, America, Babylon the Great is through, man. All right, like that right there was you know the dumbest move that they could have made. Because basically what they did was they declared war upon Europe. They declared war upon their own allies, man. So how stupid could you be? But like I said, it's all to bring forth prophecy. The Lord is in control, man. All right. If it was really up, you know what I'm saying, up to America, they wouldn't have made that move. You see, but the Lord put it on these Babylonian spirit to go and do that, man. To bring to raise the tensions and bring forth the prophecy of Revelation 17 and 16. See? Inside the article, Ukrainian military intelligence claims the risk of Russia using nuclear weapons is now very high, report says. And Putin is been talking big talk, you know what I'm saying that one nuclear warhead could you know destroy the entire East Coast, man. All right, so like I said, the tensions for war is higher than it's ever been. See, and this is all leading up to that third woe. The Ukrainian military isn't taking Vladimir Putin's nuclear threats lightly. The Russian president last week, in a brazen escalation of his war in Ukraine, made a thinly veiled threat of nuclear warfare, warning that this is not a bluff. See? And this is what the Most High has put on the hearts of these kings. Hey, listen, man, this is a time for war. All right, this is a time for these nations to go to war, man. There's no avoiding it. There's no going back. You see, in this third world war, this is going to be a nuclear war. See, and at this point in the development of these nations, everyone has a nuclear arsenal. See, so this is going to end, you know, very badly for these heathen, man. See, several intelligence experts have since said that the threat of nuclear war remains minimal, but Ukraine is sounding the alarm nonetheless. In an interview with The Guardian this week, Vadim Skibitsky, Ukraine's deputy intelligence chief, put the threat of Russia using a nuclear weapon against Ukraine at very high. Said they will likely target places along the front lines with lots of army personnel and equipment, key command centers and critical infrastructure, Skibitsky said. In order to stop them, we need not just more anti-aircraft systems, but anti-rocket systems. See, so there it is. I believe the point has been made, you know, but listen, this you know, third world war that's coming, you know, between America and its allies, Russia and its allies, this is going to end in the takedown of these nations, man, especially Esau, Edom. Okay, this is all what it's coming forth to. See, because if it was up to these nations, really, they don't want to go to war. See, they don't want it to be a World War III because they understand the implications of a world war, especially at this point when everyone has nuclear weapons. What do you think is going to happen if Russia shoots off a nuclear, warhead towards America, and America does the same? That's mutually assured destruction. So there are no winners when it comes to nuclear war. So if it was up to them, because they have their military strategists, they have their advisors that they go to when they plan things out, they would say, hell no. Why the hell would we go to war with Russia when they have a better nuclear arsenal than us, and also a better missile defense system than we do? Because when you look at America, America really don't have no uh, missile defense system, man. America is pretty much wide open. Hence why the scriptures refer to America, Babylon the Great, as the land of unwalled villages. Now, when your village is unwalled, that means that you have no protection. Okay, because in the ancient world, if you wanted to have a strong fortified city, then you built walls, because that protected the city and the inhabitants inside from outside invaders. You see, they couldn't just walk in and just take over, man. Like they really had to go to war against you. They had to lay a siege down upon the city, break down the walls. Then they can come through and do what they gotta do. But America, they don't have that. America don't have no walls of defense. It's just wide open. So, like I said, man, World War III is mutually assured destruction for these nations. Okay, and let's get Isaiah. Isaiah 13 and 4 says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Okay, so right now, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is mustering the host of the battle. The Most High is setting up these kings and governments and militaries to come against each other, to raise these tensions of war. You see? It says, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. So, hey, in the midst of World War III, when Yahweh Bashem Yahushua comes back and these nations all fighting each other, they going to turn their guns on him. And they going to see him in the clouds riding upon so-called UFOs, which are the chariots, right? They're going to see him riding on that. That's why it says the weapons of his indignation, of his fury, of his anger, you see, to destroy the whole land. See? So yeah, man, this is the Lord mustering the host of the battle. Because like I said, if it was up to these nations, they would not be trying to go to war. They would not be trying to escalate things. They would be trying to de-escalate. Because you understand, when it comes to nuclear capabilities, that nobody wins. Okay, that's why these elites have their underground bunkers. That's why they're trying to go into outer space. They trying to escape the earth because they know that mutually assured destruction is coming. But it's all from the Lord. Joel, we're gonna get what is that? Joel 3. Yeah, the multitudes in the valley of decision. That's what it's all leading up to. Joel 3 and let's start at 11. It says Joel 3 and 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, because thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Okay, so the Lord is mustering the host of the battle of these heathen nations so he can bring judgment unto them, so he can take their kingdom down. This is the end of the heathen rulership, man. You see, this is the, you know what I'm saying, this is why you're seeing everything deteriorate within the earth. This is why you're seeing all these nations catch hell. The British pound is basically about to go bankrupt. It's at the lowest value that it's ever been, and now it's even lower than the American dollar. And it's not just England. It's you know, a lot of countries in the European Union that have that same well, Britain's not a part of the European Union no more, but a lot of countries in Europe have that same issue with their weakened currency. See, but this is all to bring these nations down. You see, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Verse 14, multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. See that? So the Lord is bringing these nations together for destruction, for their own destruction. Okay, the valley of decision, the valley where the Lord will judge the nations for their wickedness, and to set up the righteous kingdom of our Lord Yahweh Shai upon the earth. Right? So, yeah, man. Wanted to get into that real quick. I went a little longer than I wanted to, but it's all good. It's all through the spirit. You know, so with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying through the Ruach HaKodesh. In closing, I'd like to say, call hello, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach HaKodesh. And until next time, Shalom to the elect.